Hey Narwhals, Luke Narwhal here, coming at you with another video. People of Reddit who have lost a lot of weight or got into great shape. Have your standards changed? Or your personality? If you haven't subscribed yet, our subscribers are known as the Narwhals, inspired by the brave unicorn of the sea. I'd encourage you to subscribe to join the original 10,000 Narwhals. Now let's jump right in. In the past 4 years, I've lost 60 pounds. I looked like this, and now I look like this. I've definitely changed, but I think I've become more sympathetic to people who get marginalized. When I was bigger, I was essentially ignored by a lot of people. I've already experienced the kind of menstrual vacuum that you enter when you hit menopause as a woman, where some people just don't consider you because they would never F you. When I first dropped weight and somehow crossed into the F-able zone, it was shocking how different life became for me. Women were more likely to invite me to things or compliment me, and men obviously give you a lot more attention and sometimes random free stuff, which makes me feel guilty, like I'm tricking them. I'm the same person I always was. I just realize now how important appearance can be to most people. How you look is what you are when you first meet someone. I think my standards went up for dating, in the sense that I looked for more empathy in the other person. When I was heavy, I wanted to be validated by people, and I would date almost anyone who would tell me I was pretty, which is sad, because I was smart and talented, but I still felt worthless. After the weight loss, I looked for someone who would understand what I went through. I actually ended up finding a great guy who dropped 200 plus pounds in high school and became a weightlifter. He had a much harder time growing up than I did. He wasn't just ignored, he was actively bullied. In his case, I think it was traumatizing. He doesn't trust people right off the bat and kind of initially assumes strangers are bumholes. We're really good for each other because I'm helping him learn to like people again, and he's teaching me to be more careful. Not to mention, losing weight takes dedication, so I am a lot more persistent and patient now. I know when I need to put my head down and just do the work for something, trusting that it will pay off. I can definitely see the difference. Girls like the extra 10 to 15 pounds of muscle. It really makes all the difference. I tried testing it doing online dating and never really revealing how fit I am. Then we met and boom, their eyes light up. Interesting. A reverse, you don't look like your picture on the internet. Never heard of this before. Haha, lower their expectations, then come out on top. It sounds diabolical. They settle for a semi-handsome guy just to see how their personality and date goes, then blindsided by a good body and F the personality. This is a well-documented syndrome, for what it's worth. Not sure if anyone will wander this far down to read about it. Basically, when you make something a focal point in your life, you become far more sensitive to it. If you're a sharpshooter, you'll know about the latest competition rifles. If you're a programmer, you'll be up to date on the latest developments in the software world. If you're losing weight, you'll be acutely aware of the methodology and details thereof. The reason this sticks out so clearly with weight loss is that you are in constant contact with examples of good and bad health. You don't walk down the street and see 50 competition rifles to ponder, nor do you need to use Java to order a coffee in the morning, but you'll see a dozen people on your way to the office, and you'll notice that some of them are not at a healthy weight. An interesting aspect of the obsession, though, is that as time goes on, most people lose their keen interest in weight loss. That doesn't mean they don't maintain their health, but that critical, judgmental corner of your mind quiets down as your health becomes a way of life, rather than an acute interest. I lost over 80 pounds. I'm a female who went from about 215 to around 130. I don't feel like I changed personally, but it was amazing the change in the way other people treated me. Not just men, but everyone. People are friendlier, salespeople are more helpful, and yes, more attention from the opposite sex. Before losing the weight, I don't think I fully understood how much value our society places on weight and appearance. Lost 100 pounds, went from 230 to 130-ish. I'm a 5'5" girl, overall more comfortable going out places and being around others, but actually somewhat less confident now. I focus more on my appearance, psychologically, not my routine. Always been sort of low-key with the whole beautifying thing, because others began to. Supposedly I'm pretty attractive now, but when you grow up being ridiculed, your self-perception is warped. Someone says you're gorgeous one day, and you draw a blank. It is difficult to accept. Other stuff, women are meaner to me, which sucks, and has probably made me more callous around them. Standards, not really. I've always liked and dated many different types of men, nearly all in the average weight range. I try not to judge people due to their weight, but sometimes super heavy people who don't care irk me. I think I have become more depressed seeing the harsh reality of how much appearance matters, and how differently you will be treated and perceived. Nothing really changed when I went from 230 to 170 one summer, and that lack of change was a problem because it was so easy to fall back into the same dietary habits. While I remain mostly active, I eat too much, so I'm stuck at 200, 6 feet tall, whereas I should weigh at least 15 pounds less. I went from 190 to 130 just after high school. Even though it has been 7 years since I lost all that weight, I still occasionally call myself fat and get jealous of skinny girls because I forget that I'm not fat anymore. However, the majority of the time, losing all this weight has given me so much confidence and allowed me to talk to more attractive guys, because when I was fat, I thought I could only get a fat guy. I like to think that my standards haven't changed, but they clearly have. I'm a lot more outgoing, flirtier, and girlier, because I no longer have to hide behind giant clothes and anger. Wish I'd lost the weight earlier. High school would have been so much easier. 48 years old, 5 foot 10 inches. Went from 240 to 190 since January this year. Too many coworkers are having their first heart attacks and strokes, and I felt that I was ready for one. Felt like crap most days, even though I exercised regularly. Watched Fat, Sick and Nearly Died and Hungry for Change one weekend, and that provided enough motivation to do something different. Since exercise was always part of my routine, change in eating habits was key. Mostly fresh fruits/veggies, limited processed foods, cut out all fast foods, avoid the 3 poisons in most of on-the-shelf foods, enriched high fructose and hydrogenated. This step alone was a major adjustment and key benefit. Feel so much better, and I sleep better, so that has affected my mood. Seem to handle stress better/tendency for depression has lifted. Lost 50 pounds in less than 4 months while dealing with a medical condition that's called for some quasi-drastic dietary adjustments. I've been as high as 260 or so, but always considered myself just barrel-chested or bearish, not really fat. I'm holding at 175 now and can't imagine what I was thinking. The biggest difference, aside from the subtly different vibe I get from women, is that I'm more reflexively critical of obese people who unthinkingly eat crap food, as well as their enablers, who range from their family members to supermarkets that charge more for healthier food, to restaurants that push starch, fat, salt, sugar, all the stuff that kills you. I look around in a diner or sports bar and can't believe people are shoveling this crap down, especially when their bums flop over the bar stool. I watch fast food ads featuring all fried food, and I think the feds ought to raid the place. I'm afraid I've become judgmental about people that don't show much food consciousness, and I find obesity really distasteful now, and hate it when people defend/rationalize it or act helpless. You're not helpless when you're eating handfuls of hush puppies and washing it down with sugared soda or fruit juice. My food standards have totally changed. I'm very careful, especially about carbs and sugar, and it's been nearly a year since my last milkshake. Our mainstream diet of carbs, fat, sweets, etc. really will hurt you. It makes me mad that healthy eating is sort of an elite, top-drawer deal in this country, while people with less money fill up on Little Debbie and snack cakes. I'm in your camp. I lost 100 pounds in 1 year, and it completely changed my outlook on weight management. I had this epiphany about halfway into it. This is easy, and I'm an idiot for being fat for 20 years. In fact, this is so easy that it really is everyone's own fault that they are fat. I started judging people very harshly if they were overweight. After all, if they couldn't do something as simple as educate themselves and manage their weight, something that is life-threatening, how good can they be in other aspects of their life? I've since regained every pound of that 100 pounds. My attitude changed significantly. Things start getting rationalized. Well, I deserve this beer. I deserve this cinnamon roll because I had a rough day. Turns out when you rationalize your food intake, you have a lot more rough days. At any rate, I'm back on the wagon and losing weight rapidly because I already know the ins and outs of what to do. It's a mental problem that you have to defeat for yourself. No one else can do it for you. I lost a lot of weight fairly early on in my life, in high school. The short answer is yes. My standards definitely changed, and so did my personality, although this had more to do with fixing my low self-esteem than it did with the weight itself. I started to see myself as a special person who was worth a relationship, that sort of thing. I do judge overweight people more. I no longer believe that weight is genetic or impossible to get off, a belief I held while overweight. When I reached a peak weight of nearly 400 pounds, I went on a crash diet and lost half my body weight in a year, 398 pounds to 190 pounds-ish. I don't recommend it. I cut out as much fat as I could, ate 1,500 calories a day, and completely effed up my gallbladder. It made me more outgoing, I guess, whereas before I just sat inside all day, not wanting to do anything because of being so self-conscious. I could wear normal clothes and just go out without worrying about what people thought or said. Unfortunately, it also left a ton of loose, sagging skin around my chest and stomach, and the NHS have refused to give me the op to have it removed. If I'd gone down the gastric band route, it would have been offered as part of the course of treatment, but because I did it off my own back, I'm seemingly ineligible for it, so I'm still incredibly self-conscious about that aspect. I've lost about 80 pounds. I've been with my husband the whole time, so that part is not applicable. but my personality has changed in many noticeable ways. When I was obese, I was super shy and awkward and refused to go to new places or try new experiences. I was in a state of nearly constant discomfort, and I went to great lengths to avoid being photographed. I ate in secret a lot. I would go for fast food on my way home from work, eat it while driving, and then eat dinner as soon as I got home. This secretive behavior made me miserable. I felt crazy and irritable all the time. I would pick fights with my husband in order to avoid mechs because I felt so unattractive and didn't want amorous attention at all. I feel so much better and healthier now. My confidence is strong and I'm serene and happy. My relationship is so much better and closer now that I'm not hiding food, and I am happy to receive and even initiate lovemaking now. Dropping those pounds changed my entire life. And that brings us to the end, narwhals. If you made it till the end, I'd encourage you to tap the thumbs up button below. That really helps us grow. If you haven't subscribed yet, our subscribers are known as the narwhals, inspired by the brave unicorn of the sea. I'd encourage you to subscribe to join the original 10,000 narwhals, and so you don't miss future videos like this. Thanks for watching, and until next time, be brave, be a narwhal.